On November 18th, 1993, Angie was returning home from school. She grabbed her blue and white backpack and jumped off the school bus to begin the one-block walk. Normally, she would walk the short distance home with 3 of her classmates who lived nearby. However, they weren't on the bus that afternoon. At approximately 5 p.m., Diane noticed that Angie's backpack wasn't lying on the living room floor. When Angie arrived home from school, she would usually throw her backpack on the floor before scurrying outside to play with her many friends who lived in the same neighborhood. Her family immediately began to search the nearby area, soliciting aid from neighbors and friends. When the search proved unfruitful, they contacted the police at around 7 p.m. Her mother told police that Angie had gone to school that morning wearing blue jeans, white tennis shoes, and a pink hooded coat. She was 5 feet tall and weighed approximately 65 pounds. When Police Chief Bob Schrader was first made aware of Angie's disappearance, he said that in his gut he knew that there was something terribly wrong. Call it a sixth sense, but Schrader knew they were going to be dealing with something much bigger than what their small suburb was accustomed to. He contacted the Major Case Squad to request assistance. It was only the second time in 28 years that the Major Case Squad had been asked to step in on something other than a murder case. Sniffer dogs and infrared helicopters were brought in to help with the all-out search. The dogs were able to pick up a scent and tracked it down Wright Avenue before abruptly losing it. We don't know if the wind blew the scent away in that time or if she got into a car at that spot, said St. Anne Police Sergeant Jim Mantle. More than 30 detectives combed the area, questioning neighbors and scavenging through nearby creeks and forests for any clues. As the days passed and not one piece of evidence was uncovered, nor were any witnesses produced, everybody began to fear the worst. The earth certainly hadn't opened up and eaten her. It began to dawn on her family that something malevolent might have taken place. August A. Bush Memorial Conservation Area is a 6,987-acre conservation area located in St. Charles County, Missouri. It is situated approximately 25 miles from Wright Avenue, where Angie lived. It's a popular area for fishing and hunting, with 32 fully stocked lakes and a plethora of wild animals. 9 days after Angie had disappeared, in the late morning hours of November 27th, a hunter made an extremely unsettling discovery while stalking deer in a secluded and remote section of the area. Everyone's worst fears materialized. Bound to a tree was the ice-cold, semi-naked body of Angie. Her discarded blue and white backpack was found lying on the ground nearby. Beside her backpack were her clothes. Metal handcuffs that had been made in Taiwan awkwardly bound her hands behind her back and around the trunk of the tree. Thick gray duct tape was partially wrapped around her head to cover her eyes, along with a piece taped over her mouth to subdue any pleas for help. An unknown fingerprint was later lifted from the duct tape. An autopsy revealed that Angie had died from exposure just a few hours before she was discovered, meaning that she had been held captive for 9 agonizing days. During that time, she had been repeatedly raped and tortured. The autopsy also uncovered that she hadn't been given anything to eat or drink over those 9 days. The kidnapper then drove her to the August A. Bush Memorial Conservation Area and bound her to a tree while she was still alive. A cruel and slow, agonizing death. Investigators questioned whether the killer had tied Angie to a tree to have his way with her before being spooked by something or someone. Did he intend to come back? The thought that she would have lived had she been found just a couple of hours earlier haunts investigators and citizens to this day. An intensive and thorough investigation, headed by the St. Louis Major Case Squad, was launched, and over the next several years there were more than 1,000 suspects examined in connection to Angie's murder. A number of leads came in from other police departments, which had arrested suspected pedophiles with ties to the St. Louis area. A 24-hour hotline was set up so that anybody with information could anonymously get into contact with the police, and a $100,000 reward fund for information leading to the arrest of the perpetrator was gathered. By 1999, this fund would reach a hefty $250,000. The crime rocked the small, close-knit community and caused mass panic among parents. After-school programs to discuss safety tips with children were organized, and volunteers were recruited to watch over bus stops and areas around schools. Unmarked police cars followed unsupervised children wherever they went as an extra precaution. A bereavement program was provided by St. Louis Children's Hospital for disturbed parents and their children.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.